In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on November 26, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Cincinnati Bengals. On a highly anticipated Sunday afternoon, the Pittsburgh Steelers gear up for a pivotal American Football Conference North clash at the iconic Packer Stadium against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Steelers, sporting a record of 6-4, are coming off a disappointing loss to the Cleveland Browns in their previous outing. Meanwhile, the Bengals, with a 5-5 record, face the challenge of regrouping after losing their star quarterback, Joe Burrow, for the season in a game against the Baltimore Ravens. Despite a robust performance from the Steelers' defense throughout the season, their 6-4 record doesn't truly reflect their capabilities, with quarterback Kenny Pickett facing challenges in pushing the ball down the field. In the recent matchup against the Browns, the defense limited the opposition to just 13 points, but the offense struggled, managing only 10 points. Pickett's stats have lacked dynamism, completing 15 of 28 passes for 106 yards in the last game. The Steelers, with an average of 17 points, are hungry for offensive success, especially considering their defense is conceding an average of 19.5 points per game. The key to success in the upcoming game lies in Pickett delivering a standout performance. The Bengals find themselves in a quarterback quandary, turning to Jake Browning after the unfortunate loss of Joe Burrow. Browning, in his relief appearance, completed 8 of 14 passes for 68 yards and a touchdown. However, the defense's lapse, giving up 34 points to the Ravens, underscored the need for a stronger defensive showing. The Bengals' average of 20 points per game contrasts with their defense, allowing 23 points per game. Creating turnovers on Pickett will be crucial for the Bengals to enhance their chances in the upcoming matchup. As the American Football Conference North showdown between the Steelers and Bengals looms large on the Sunday morning horizon, the Steelers have made a significant move by firing their offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, in the hope of boosting their scoring output. In contrast, the Bengals, coming off a divisional loss to the Ravens, face the challenge of starting backup quarterback Jake Browning due to Joe Burrow's injury. The Steelers' offensive struggles, averaging just 16 points per game and with Kenny Pickett registering only 6 touchdowns in 10 games, emphasize the urgency for more dynamic plays down the field. Despite being one of the league's worst teams in total yards per game, the Steelers have relied on their defense in crucial victories. Browning showcased promise in the previous game after Burrow's exit, driving the Bengals down the field for a touchdown on the last drive. With a full week of practice as the starting quarterback, Browning is expected to make a more significant impact, supported by playmakers like Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd. The Bengals hold the offensive advantage over Pittsburgh, and a strategic emphasis on establishing a run game early could pave the way for effective play-action passes later in the game. While divisional games pose significant challenges, the Bengals, as underdogs, are favored to cover the spread at home, making them the full game side pick. The Bengals received distressing news in their recent 34-20 loss to the Ravens, as Joe Burrow suffered a season-ending wrist injury. Consequently, the spotlight shifts to Jake Browning. Both teams are likely to encounter challenges in moving the ball forward, and despite the Steelers' decision to part ways with their offensive coordinator, Kenny Pickett remains at the helm. The Steelers' offensive struggles, ranking 31st in passing yards, 28th in points, and 25th in third down percentage, are apparent, while the Bengals face uncertainties without Burrow. With Browning leading the Bengals and facing the formidable Pittsburgh defense, the total points projected for the game dropped from 41.5 to 34.5 before settling at 35.5. The Cincinnati quarterback is not underestimated, considering the Steelers' 9th rank in the NFL in expected points added. With consistent pressure expected on Browning, moving the chains might be a challenge. Furthermore, the Steelers boast a 4th rank in opponent touchdown percentage in the red zone. While improvements in the Steelers' offense are anticipated post-Canada, a complete transformation may be overly optimistic. The game is poised to be a gritty and defensive battle, with both teams struggling to put points on the board. Bettors should brace for one of the ugliest games of the afternoon. The total here seems more aligned with a hockey score than a football game. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Jacksonville Jaguars versus Houston Texans. Get ready for an electrifying American Football Conference South showdown as the Jacksonville Jaguars square off against the Houston Texans on a highly anticipated Sunday afternoon. This clash marks a pivotal moment in the divisional race, with the Jaguars coming off a decisive home victory against the Titans, while the Texans secured a notable win at home against the Cardinals. The two teams previously faced off in September, where the Texans emerged victorious with a commanding 37-17 score, placing Jacksonville ahead by just one game in the American Football Conference South standings. The Jacksonville Jaguars are riding high on momentum, having won 6 of their last 7 games. Following their impressive 20-point triumph over the Titans, quarterback Trevor Lawrence boasts a completion rate of 68.1%, amassing 2,382 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Lawrence's arsenal includes dynamic receivers Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley, who have combined for an impressive 1,246 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. Running back Travis Etienne Jr. has been a force on the ground, leading the team with 670 yards and 7 touchdowns. Defensively, the Jaguars, led by Foyesade Oluokun, are allowing an average of 20 points and 341.4 yards per game, with Josh Allen recording 9.5 sacks and Andre Sisco notching 3 interceptions. On the other side, the Houston Texans are on a 3-game winning streak, with a recent home victory over the Cardinals. Quarterback C.J. Stroud has been a key player, completing 62.8% of his passes for 2,962 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Receivers Nico Collins and Tank Dell, with a combined 1,355 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns, add firepower to the Texans' offense. Running back Devin Singletary leads the ground game with 471 yards and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, the Texans, anchored by Blake Cashman and Jonathan Greenard, are allowing 21 points and 337.9 yards per game, with Steven Nelson securing 3 interceptions. This American Football Conference South showdown promises to be a playoff-like contest, with the Jaguars seeking redemption after their Week 3 defeat to the Texans. Jacksonville's recent dominance, winning 6 of their last 7 games, positions them as a formidable force in the division. Meanwhile, the Texans, boasting a 4 out of 5 game winning streak, rely on the impressive performances of quarterback C.J. Stroud, who has recently entered the MVP conversation. However, Stroud's susceptibility to turnovers, evidenced in the last game against the Cardinals, could pose a significant challenge against the Jaguars' defense. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence, surrounded by playmakers like Evan Engram, Calvin Ridley, and Christian Kirk, gives the Jaguars a potent offensive attack. The team's road prowess, undefeated in 5 away games, includes notable wins against the Bills and Steelers. With a strong passing offense averaging 225 yards per game, the Jaguars are set to exploit the Texans' pass defense weakness, ranked 25th in the NFL, allowing an average of 241 passing yards. The Texans' defense, vulnerable in recent games, is likely to face a relentless offensive assault from Lawrence and company. The absence of sacks in the first meeting and the Jaguars' recent trend of winning by at least a touchdown in their last 4 victories suggest a challenging matchup for the Texans. Anticipating revenge, the Jaguars are expected to maintain offensive pressure throughout the game. Given their recent form and the Texans' defensive vulnerabilities, the Jacksonville Jaguars to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. These rivals, having met in October, delivered an over that surpassed expectations by nearly 10 points. Trevor Lawrence's impressive 279 passing yards in that encounter showcased the Jaguars' offensive prowess, averaging a solid 25 points in their last 5 games. The Texans, too, accumulated 37 points in the first meeting, with Stroud's 280 passing yards indicating potential success against the Jaguars' 29th-ranked pass defense. Considering Houston's recent ability to reach 30 points in 2 of their last 3 games and the Jaguars' lack of a strong pass rush, the over appears enticing. Brace yourselves for an intense battle that promises both offensive fireworks and a fierce divisional rivalry renewed. With the over hitting in 4 out of the Jaguars' last 5 divisional games, we predict a high-scoring affair. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Carolina Panthers versus Tennessee Titans. In a clash between two struggling NFL franchises, the 3-7 Titans are gearing up to host the 1-9 Panthers in Nashville, highlighting the challenges both teams have faced this season. The presence of rookie quarterbacks Bryce Young for the Panthers and Will Levis for the Titans adds an intriguing element to the matchup. Young, who started on opening day for the Panthers, faces off against Levis, who took over after an injury to Ryan Tannehill and secured a victory against the Falcons, earning the starting position. As the calendar turns to December and playoff hopes fade, both teams shift their focus to developing young talent for the future. Situated at the bottom of their respective divisions, this game becomes an opportunity to assess the progress and potential of these former Southeastern Conference quarterbacks in the demanding landscape of the NFL. The Carolina Panthers, eager to break a 3-game losing streak, are coming off a substantial 23-point defeat to the Cowboys. Bryce Young, with a completion rate of 62.1%, has thrown for 1,683 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Offensive contributors Adam Thielen and DJ Chark Jr. have amassed 955 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns, supported by Chuba Hubbard leading the ground game with 408 yards and 1 touchdown. Defensively, the Panthers are allowing 27.5 points and 308.6 yards per game, with key players like Frankie Louvu, Brian Burns, and Dan Jones making notable contributions. The Tennessee Titans, also seeking to snap a 3-game losing streak, faced a 20-point loss to the Jaguars in their last outing. Will Levis, completing 58.9% of his passes, has thrown for 857 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Offensive standouts to Andre Hopkins and Nick Westbrook-Ikhine have combined for 890 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. Derrick Henry leads the ground game with 663 yards and 4 touchdowns. Defensively, the Titans are allowing 21.4 points and 343.1 yards per game, with Aziz Al-Shar, Denico Autry, and Amani Hooker making key contributions. The Titans boast a 3-1-0 against the spread home record in the Music City, securing a victory against the Falcons in their lone home game since Levis assumed the starting role. With a focus on uncovering hidden gems in the offensive line and reigniting Derrick Henry, the Titans aim to kickstart their offense on home turf. Facing a vulnerable, injury-riddled secondary in the Panthers, Tennessee appears poised to exploit the rookies and backups on the opposing team. Meanwhile, the Panthers have struggled this season, holding a 2-7-1 record against the spread. In Nashville, 2 rookie and former Southeastern Conference quarterbacks cross paths this weekend, providing an opportunity for Tennessee to regain momentum. Although the Titans are approaching a transition period, they entered this bout in better shape than their opponents, who have struggled to position their first-year signal caller for success. Tennessee, led by coach Mike Vrabel, instills confidence heading into this contest. Admittedly, neither of these teams inspires excitement, and at this stage, neither side should be overly invested in winning. It's a season for jockeying for better draft picks. The Panthers, with just 1 win this year, ranked 29th in scoring offense and 31st in scoring defense. The Titans, showing more signs of life, have the advantage of playing at home. Anticipate a heavy dose of Derrick Henry in this matchup, making the Titans the favored hosts. If the Titans can't secure a victory in this game, it's a cause for concern. So the Tennessee Titans to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both teams have struggled offensively, with the Titans scoring 16 or fewer points in 5 of their last 6 games. Rookie Levis has faced consistent pressure in the last 3 games, struggling to make adjustments as the league adapts to his style. The Panthers, too, have scored 15 or fewer points in 4 straight games and 5 out of the last 7. Their over-under records of 3-6-1 and 3-7, respectively, highlight the offensive challenges both teams have encountered this season. Despite glimmers of defensive brightness, the stage is set for a potentially low-scoring affair with 2 rookie quarterbacks at the helm. Reflecting on recent performances and the likelihood of a closely contested game, get ready for a grinder that should stay below this very modest total. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.